This story was never meant to be shared publicly. It comes from a case file that was sealed after investigators could not explain what actually happened. It took place in the United States, in a quiet residential town where nothing violent had happened for decades. In 2021, a woman named Melissa lived alone in a small rented house after her husband passed away. The house was old but well maintained, and neighbors described it as peaceful. Melissa had no history of mental illness, no substance abuse, and no reason to imagine things. For the first month, everything felt normal. Then one night, just after she turned off the lights, she heard a sound coming from beneath her bed. It wasn't scratching. It wasn't movement. It was breathing. Slow, controlled breathing, as if someone was trying not to be noticed. Melissa froze, listening. The breathing stopped the moment she sat up. She told herself it was air moving through the vents, or maybe an animal. The next night, it happened again. Same time. Same sound. When she leaned over the side of the bed and looked underneath, there was nothing there. No shadows. No movement. Just empty space. On the third night, Melissa spoke out loud. She whispered, "Hello?" From under the bed, something whispered back. It answered in her husband's voice. It said her name exactly the way he used to say it. Soft. Familiar. Loving. Melissa screamed and ran out of the bedroom. She slept on the couch with the lights on. At 2:14 a.m., the breathing started again. This time, it was beneath the couch. Melissa stopped sleeping altogether. She stayed awake through the nights, lights on, television playing, afraid of the silence. The breathing continued every night, always coming from beneath wherever she was resting. She tried sleeping in a chair. The sound came from underneath the chair. She tried sleeping in the bathtub. The breathing came from beneath the tub. Melissa recorded audio on her phone. On the recordings, there were always two breathing patterns. One panicked. One calm. Police were called. They searched the house thoroughly. Nothing was found. No crawl spaces. No access points. No signs of another person. They suggested stress and grief. But Melissa hadn't told them the worst part. The thing beneath the floor began speaking without being spoken to. It would whisper memories only her husband should have known. Things that were never written down. Never shared. One night, the voice said, "You used to listen to me sleep too." Melissa shouted for it to stop. The voice answered, "You're the one above me now." At 2:14 a.m. one night, Melissa felt the bed shift slightly downward, as if something underneath was pressing up. The breathing grew louder. Closer. She felt warm air against her skin, coming from below the mattress. The voice whispered, "Move closer." That night, Melissa called 911. The dispatcher heard the breathing immediately. When asked where the sound was coming from, Melissa whispered, "It's under me." The dispatcher asked her to leave the house. Melissa said she couldn't. She said the floor felt soft, like it was sinking. Police arrived within minutes. The front door was unlocked. The house was silent. Melissa was found in the bedroom, standing perfectly still beside the bed. She was alive, but unresponsive. Her eyes were open, staring downward. Officers reported that the floor beneath the bed was warm to the touch. Thermal scans showed a heat signature moving slowly beneath the house, directly below where Melissa stood. Then it stopped. Melissa was hospitalized and never spoke again. She died 6 months later from unknown causes. The house was sold. The new owners reported nothing unusual. But emergency services logs show something disturbing. Once every few weeks, a call comes from that address at exactly 2:14 a.m. No one speaks. Dispatchers hear only breathing. 2 different patterns. One panicked. One calm. And sometimes, faintly, a voice can be heard whispering from below the microphone, "Don't sleep above me."